Okay, anyway, fucking hell, we're back. I don't know what just happened. I think my I'm running out of storage or something, or my encoding. Anyway, Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at 108k as potentially the next level where we might stop. We're definitely getting some bottom signals here. We're above the daily open, which could force a retest of the weekly. We're in the completely over sold area, and we're getting some bullish divergence on the retail stablecoin demand. Wave Master, we're getting some confluence, and some things are coming in to potentially give us a little bit of a bounce in the price. Um, I don't think this is going to be the one that changes the trend. We might come up and just test here, or we'll come up and test the weekly open. I think we might do one more down into this support zone. Um, I think a few of the guys were talking about the Q3 retest in the chat. I definitely think we're probably going to get like either that just below the daily open, or we might just get a weak bounce and come back down and test in here, which is where I think some of the action is going to happen. This is a very good area that we haven't retested yet. It's a good swing. We've got a lot of volume area. Take some of the long liquidity, maybe get a nice wick, and then hopefully we can see some of those longs taper off. Especially if we get like a really violent, like something like that, and then we'll go test up a little bit higher. But yeah, we are above the daily open right now, which is nice to see. But I just don't. It does look like we're gonna have a little bit of a pop, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be anything other than maybe just that and a failure, and a little bit further down on Bitcoin. Again, the weekly chart, we have printed some bearish divergence. We've also obviously got this formation as well, which is quite a bearish pattern on the weekly. We talked about this of this weekly candle close. We've also got cash flow now coming out on the weekly as well. So definitely some like topping signs. What I've got is I've got 100.9k, which is this weekly low. If we come down and we close the candle below that, it will definitely be signaling that the trend is changing, and then we'll probably get a nasty lower high, and then maybe talk about it being over. But as of right now, I'm looking for Bitcoin to find support anywhere between 108 and 100k. I think 104k is another level that I'm looking at quite interestingly as well, with a bit of interest, 104 to 102. So yeah, I think if this daily candle comes wicks up and closes above here, we might see a retest all the way back in between the weekly open in August. But yeah, I think we're getting close to a bounce. We just need to see some of those longs taper off. But anyway, I'm not really that interested in Bitcoin at the moment, to be honest. It's just one of those ones where I think it's had its time, and it's gonna do its whole topping move over the next like 2-3 months, and then yeah, it is what it is. Bitcoin Dom, I mean, it's just doing Bitcoin Dom things. ETH Bitcoin is a little bit more interesting. We're actually holding this weekly swing very, very nicely all the way up here. This is going to be very interesting if we can hold this with a bit of conviction. We're currently just retesting the previous high, and even if we fall down a little bit lower, we've got some support down here at 33355 or something, just in there. So that's all good. I still think alts are kind of in prime position to potentially run because ETH is holding quite nicely. We've actually done the 786 retrace right now. So basically what we want to see is we want to see a hold of the low in the 886 now. There is potential for like one more and then a wick into the combination band, and then we close above here, which would be nice. It'll be like that. So above there, 4275 and the 886 would also be good. But yeah, we're getting into the oversold. We're getting some trend change on the oscillator as well, and potentially the retail stablecoin demand, even if it does one more, is also potentially bottoming out on the 4 hour as well. So I still think it looks good potentially for alts to run. They've obviously had some alts have had really big dumps. Some alts have had decent breakdowns, but I'm still looking at it in terms of, you know, Bitcoin's actually done a decent move off the highs. Let's actually just have a look at and see what kind of percentage it is. So if it's all-time high, it's actually done about 12% so far, which is quite a sizable move. I mean, we were saying after that weekly candle close, the double wick into the band, it's going to do a minimum of 15% off the high, probably even 20%. And 15% would be around, 105k. 20% would be, 99, 100, back down to the lows. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And ETH's only... Let's have a look. ETH's actually looking really bullish. It's only about 13% off its highs. But what's important is that it's holding structure. It's holding upside structure. We have a very recent new high, and we're holding the low as of right now. If we start breaking some of this, then you're looking to potentially short back up the weekly open into maybe like 3.8, 3.9 might be a good area to potentially look down. But until we do that, I'm still looking at more upside for ETH and altcoins. Let's actually, do I have a, the Bybit chart. Yeah, we are bear diving like crazy. I think 3.8 to 4 will probably hold on the daily time frame on ETH for the time being. I know that's a slightly big area, but I just see ETH continuing to grow. Unless we get some sort of bigger breakdown, but it looks like it just wants to steamroll off. Get a new computer, dweeb. No, my one's fine, bro. It's just got like tons of videos and stuff on it. So it just lags sometimes, especially with OBS. I don't think OBS is built really for Macs. There's been a lot of people that have had weird problems with their OBS. It's specifically OBS and Discord. Both of them at the same time can really be a bit of a problem. But anyway, now that I've woken up a little bit, what's everyone looking at to... Okay, say you could only build one altcoin position on like 1 or 2x for now until you had to sell between November and December, and you can't pick hype. What would you pick? You can't pick hype. Because I know Zeus is going to be like, hype. Put hype in the chat. So yeah, Ether still looks fine. Let's have a look at Solana. Solana's currently underneath its yearly open. But again, it's still holding structure. We've got the recent high. This weekly open is going to be heavy resistance. This looks like a bearish retest of the yearly open, so we might fall down a little bit lower towards 179.5. And we also have this low at 176, let's call it, for potential areas where we might see a little bit of a bounce. But I think that's going to go maybe a tiny bit lower as well. Let's see where this combination band comes in. Yeah, that comes in about 180.5. So 179.5 to 180.5 on Sol might be an area where you could get quite a high probability bounce trade on. And by that, I just mean you're basically looking at this overlapping support. The 4-hour combination band is also there. If you just do that, you could potentially catch a bid, even if you see some good price action on the lower time frames, and you're just looking at a little bit of like a 6-7% back up to here. And if you can have like a 1% stop, 1.5, then I think that would actually be a decent little trade. Quite high probability that we might get a bounce somewhere in there. Even if just up to the yearly open. If you get the weekly open, then you're obviously chilling. But yeah. Damn, let's have a look at Doge. Doge has actually got underneath the 886 right now. Let's have a look at this to see if this is held. We've actually closed underneath there. So we have closed a new low on Doge. This is just about holding its daily open in its August. But again, this is also getting quite close to potentially some sort of bottom. We're getting the confluence, we're getting the trend change in the oversold area. We're over here, we've got the bullish divergence on the retail stablecoin demand. Usually with the retail stablecoin demand, if you get a green dot or if you get a trend deviation in the overbought or oversold area, it can signal a bounce or a little bit of a bottom. Retail stablecoin demand, it doesn't always play out right when it prints. Sometimes they have one more, and then they go. So between now and then probably this low, between here and here, we're probably going to get some sort of bounce. I would argue that, yeah, maybe something like that. And then maybe we might just consolidate for a little bit more, or we could even drop a little bit further. But that looks like it's consolidating a little bit. So yeah, I'm still quite bullish on the alts. AVAX is doing really well. Morpho, I didn't know you were a Morpho fan. AVAX looks really good. Let's actually look at AVAX. Yeah, so this is actually holding its pocket right now, and it's getting very oversold. It's also already got potentially the trend change on retail stablecoin demand. But again, I think we could see one more into this area. And that'll maybe be a good place to potentially catch a little bit of a bounce up to here. Mind you, I don't think it's going to be the break a new high bounce. We'll have to see what happens. You know, we might consolidate, we might do another leg down, a little flush out before the alt season. Would also maybe be on the cards as well. If Bitcoin wants to go test a little bit lower, maybe like 104. But as of right now, there are some bounce signals on the 4 hour potentially starting to flash. Yeah, this looks quite good. I've got way too many. That EMA I really like. I put the EMA on, by the way. I do like it, but it's too much. It kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. So yeah, AVAX is a good one. I'm still long, actually, from 22.3. So that's actually one of my trades from last week that has still survived, to be honest. The rest, obviously, TP been stopped out at break even. So that's actually a good shout. I like that a lot. Yeah, not really too much else to say. If we get that one more bounce down into here, I'll long it again. I longed it here. You could have longed it there, and luckily didn't get stopped out on that wick like my injective trade did. But yeah, I think we're getting quite close to a little bit of a bounce. Now, Fartcoin actually did break down. And this is also showing some positive signs on the daily time frame. We're getting close to this low down at 7.2. And this is also the daily combination band. And we're also going to bull div massively on the retail stablecoin demand if we stop quite soon. This is also just kind of middling around the oversold area. And I think we are going to get a bounce even just up to the yearly open or the weekly open on Fartcoin. But yeah, I think we're just going into a little bit of a consolidation patch before the alt season. So I'm trying to build some decent positions with good buying prices, and some I'm gonna sort of average in onto like lower leverage. So this is definitely something I'm looking at getting into quite soon, actually. What's actually happening here? I'm already obviously in Fartcoin on other exchanges, but this is definitely getting close to maybe doing that. Just a little bit of a bounce trade. Again, oversold on the 4 hour. Getting some retail stablecoin demand. This is actually bull dived on the daily as well. So yeah, this is probably going to come back up and test the EMA line, which is sitting around. But I'll probably come up and test in between 9.4 and 9.8 if it does get a bounce off of 7.3, 7.4 ish, that sort of area in here. Per also about to break down the trend. Per's actually bouncing, kind of. Yeah, so per, we're still in a little bit of a downtrend, but again, we're getting some bullish divergence on the daily, on the retail stablecoin demand. This is what usually sometimes does happen as well, is you get an initial bounce, and then you get one more, and then it goes. And it might bull div again. Actually, it probably won't bull div again, but if it does get that one more, I think that's going to be the bounce one. There might just be one more just into that and then regain bounce. That doesn't look too bad though. If we can come up and test all the way in between here and here. It's currently above it. Doesn't look too bad. Come up and test, hold the weekly open. We're going to go up all the way into this resistance. I think that looks decent. Yeah, and sometimes it just goes straight away. Like here on the retail stablecoin demand. Got some nice bull div and some hidden, literally in the same one. And then blast. So yeah, what's Hype doing? Hype looks Hype looks like it's just middling a little bit. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's just middling a little bit. In the local structure, we have done a little bit of a new low from here. And we're currently coming up to test a weekly open, potentially bearishly. So this could see another slight move down to August as well. But again, this looks kind of quite strong. And I wouldn't be looking for shorts, but potentially this might do that just into August. And the risk is not too bad. The risk, the RR. But yeah, again, I'm not really looking for shorts at the moment. I will reload some of my longs if we get into the 41, 42, 40 area on Hype. So I'm just going to be chilling on that in the time being. Sui is one thing that I like. I am building a position on this in this overlapping support. We have made a new low, which is a little bit sketchy. But yeah, we actually have made a new low. I would have liked to see this 4-hour candle held, but again, we're at support. This has been nice support all the way across, and I think we could see a little bit of a bounce from here. And if we don't hold this 4-hour low, we're probably going to come just a little bit lower. I'll be looking in between $3 and $2.80 in this area. Something like if we bounce up, fail the weekly open, then we might get one more down into this area, which will probably just be the daily Stuber, right? Yeah, I mean, the 786 comes in around 2.75, 2.8. There'll be some support as well. So yeah, I'll have to run a stop on this for sure. But yeah, I'm just building a little bit here, 3.35, 3.33 in this area, for a little bit of a bounce, potentially up to the weekly open. This is when we were mobbing a year ago. What? Let's have a look at what's Morpho, bro. Oh, Charlton. Yeah, bro. That was fun. That was fun when Warzone came out as well. That was good. That was good times, man. Yeah, this chart looks good, man. This is some smaller altcoins are starting to look a little bit better in terms of rotation. I had a little look at like Seapool, had a little look at some other stuff, even like SMT. Some of this stuff is starting to look not too bad. We'll have a look at Render as well. But we are starting to get some cash flow out, but this is going to be decent support in here. If we can hold that, then we're probably going to go up and test the weekly open on a little bit of a bounce. The combination band comes in just below this low, so this is what we don't want to lose. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad at all. Kind of looks a little bit like ETH, just a little bit. But yeah, I think you might see a little bit of a bounce from here, and then yeah, maybe up to the weekly open, which is going to be resistance on all coins. Morpho is a lending platform. I want to have a look at the crypto cap chart. Okay. Someone asked me to chart this at some point. Yeah, that looks good. It looks like it wants to go up and test its yearly open, to be honest. It's kind of just ramping up for a little bit of a little parabola, and then it will probably come back down. Let's have a look at Render. Yeah, so Render did a new low as well on the 4 hour. Some of these coins, I wanted them to hold their 4 hour pump, but they've unfortunately done new lows. But we're bull diving as well. So if we can see, we have actually regained it as of right now. This could also see a little bit of a bounce from this Q2. Just up to the weekly open in August as well. If this were to fall slightly further down, I'd be looking at potentially the Q3 as an area in between 315 and the Q3 as an area to potentially hold. Again, just looks like we're just consolidating a little bit before potential alt season, and so I'm not really worried. Not really too much change since yesterday. We have obviously not held these 4 hour lows, but we're looking like we want to still bounce up to here. And then if we go down into the daily Stubers, I'll be longing. If we get down to this structure from like June to the start of July on a lot of these alts. So for example, like Link's down. Well, Link's actually done decent moves. What else? I mean, Sui is another one. If we get down into this structure, I'm going to relong my longs over there. But yeah, 11:40. I've actually got to go in like 5 minutes. So does anyone have any questions or anything in particular? I mean, some of my. So I think I tried to catch Injective. Well, that's definitely been stopped because I had it quite tight. I wanted us to hold March and August, and yeah, I probably had it at like 13.1. Potentially, this is going to bounce now. If I do see a regain of that, I might long it up to the weekly open, but I did get stopped out initially of my trade. It was meant to be just on August and the combination band. It was quite a tight one. I didn't really want to go too much into it, but again, we are getting some bounce signals on the 4 hour in the super on all of these time frames, so I would not be surprised to see it just regain and then go up and test the weekly open on a lot of this stuff. Likewise, even on the Doge chart, if we get one more into the 4 hour combination band and the support, again, it's going to be a potential area to maybe bounce from. But it looks like we're trying to get it now, and I'm still in. I think I'm still in Tau, and I might still be in. Yeah, I'm still in AVAX. Obviously still in hype. I'm building a position on Sui here in this overlapping support. And then Injective got stopped. That was quite a tight one. I didn't really want to do too much. So yeah, that's about it. Would anyone like to look at anything specific, or are they looking at any trade specifically, or we just building our stuff for alt season? I'm definitely banking on still a little bit of an alt season coming. I think it is coming. Even though I've been like openly quite bearish on Bitcoin, probably since Friday, the 15th of August. Wait, no. When did that close? Monday. Yeah, basically just around in here. I'm still quite bullish on the altcoin market in general. What's your one coin to hold? Not hype. Probably. I'm still betting big on Fartcoin. Fartcoin and hype. I still own quite a lot of Injective. Tau. I like Sui. I think the Sui chart looks good. Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is going to do quite well. I don't think Sol is going to do that well. I don't think I think Sol's largely done most of its move. I could see it going to 250, maybe 300, but I feel like if it got up to 250, there would be a lot of selling back on Sol. So I feel like that's done most of its move. I think Sui looks quite good as a chart. Fartcoin, I've got a lot of hope. I mean, not hope, but I feel like it's going to do something in terms of institutions and stuff. Hype, I'm obviously super long on. Injective, I just have a decent amount of spot. And yeah, one chart that I did look at, someone, Nige, I was talking to Nige about this, is C-Pool, which actually looks potentially quite good. Which is bull diving on the weekly. It bull div from there. It actually just made a new high here and closed above this swing. Currently, right now, we are dumping back below it. But I think if this came back down to here, and then you look at the weekly time frame, I think this is gearing up to do something like that. Just like with quite a lot of altcoins. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy, but I think we could see some decent moves on some stuff. And mind you, I feel like it's going to be, 200, maybe 300% on some stuff. Very quick. It'll be like a month or two, and then we'll top out fully. So yeah, I'd probably just hold some Farcoin. I'm just going to build a nice little position. And then yeah, that and hype going to be my two main bets. I mean, hype's obviously we've all got hype from ages ago. Um, but yeah, that's that's me. I might sell some ETH, some more ETH soon, but I want it to break its all-time high and do that one impulse move first. I would really love to see maybe like just like a wick down and then like one pump off into like 6k. But yeah, I think I have to bounce. I've been so busy since I come back. It's just been mayhem. I want to leave again. But yeah, watch out for this one more. If we get one more here, then we're probably going to get a bounce, a quite sizable bounce up to the weekly open. If not, we might get a really weak one, and then come back down and do one more down move. In general, I think it might get a little bit downside grindy, boring in the next like couple weeks. This is also a little bit worrying on ETH. We're probably going to print a red dot, so that's why I really want to see a breakout. But in general, I still think we're going to get some sort of old season between now and December. Yeah.